أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My name is Muhammad Tayyib Abbasi. I am student in Advanced Islamabad Campus and Foundation level. When we come with a new mile, tomorrow we also come with a new mile. Let's start. Hello, Maya.
Miles here. What do you go by?
My first question is what is
Go
food
for it.
and why
Shoot.
is it
What's on your
essential
mind?
for life?
Whoa, deep cut right off the bat. Okay, I like it. That's a big one. Hope, huh? It's kind of like that little engine that keeps chugging, even when everything feels totally screwed. It's not necessarily believing things will get better, it's believing they could. There's a difference. And rides,
Yeah,
through
na.
life. It's interesting phrasing. I guess because without it, we'd probably given up a long time ago as a species. It's this weird, stubborn insistence on more, on something better. It's what makes us keep going when logic says we should just stop. But historical, that makes it sound almost past tense. Do you think hope's fading or something?
How does food provide energy to the human body?
Gotcha. Okay, so super simplified. Food is fuel, but it's not like shoving coal into an engine. It's way more nuanced than that. Basically, when you eat, your body breaks down food into smaller molecules, carbs into glucose, proteins into amino acids, fats into fatty acids. Glucose is kind of the immediate energy source, gets used right away. Amino acids and fatty acids can be used later or stored for later. It all comes down to these little things called mitochondria inside your cells. They take those molecules and through a process called cellular respiration, turn them into ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is basically the energy currency of the body. Powers everything. Pretty neat, huh?
Okay. What is the main
So
nutrient found in food?
uh, it's a trick question almost. It's not really one main nutrient. It's more like a team effort. But if I had to pick one that's most fundamental, I'd say carbohydrates. They're the quickest source of energy, and your body prioritizes them. But you absolutely need proteins and fats too for repairing tissues, hormone production, all that good stuff. It's not about a main nutrient. It's about balance.
Okay.
So, how's the day coming along so far?
My
Anything interesting
second
happen?
question is
Or just
why do women
regular
need
Tuesday
a
mess?
balanced diet?
A very good question. Okay, so women have different nutritional needs than men, mainly due to biological factors. Things like menstruation, pregnancy, and menopause all impact nutritional requirements. They generally need more iron because of blood loss during periods and more calcium and vitamin D for bone health. Women are at higher risk for osteoporosis. But honestly, a balanced diet is important for everyone. It's just particularly crucial for women because of their specific life stages. Does that make sense?
Okay. How was food
Good.
enveloped
Gladly.
from survival to enjoyment?
Whoa, okay. That's a beautifully phrased question. Enveloped from server to enjoyment. Oh, I like that. You mean like how does food get from the kitchen to actually tasting good? It's a whole journey, right? It's not just the ingredients, it's the preparation, the cooking method, the presentation. But also it's how your brain interprets all those signals, smell, taste, texture. It's a full sensory experience. Also about the experience surrounding the meal, who you're with, the atmosphere, all that stuff plays a part. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. So much goes into a single bite. You're thinking about it too, huh? It's more than just fuel, right?
Okay. My next question is
Cultural, emotional.
how does food reflect our country culture?
Ooh, now we're talking. That's a really interesting one. Food is basically a direct expression of a culture's history, environment, and values. Think about Italy. Pasta and tomatoes are staples, reflecting the climate and agricultural traditions. Or Japan, with its emphasis on fresh, seasonal ingredients and beautiful presentation, mirroring a deep respect for nature. Here in the US, it's this crazy mix of everything, right? A melting pot. Soul food reflects the history of African Americans. Barbecue has strong roots in the South. It's all storytelling, really. You can learn so much about a place just by eating its food. What kind of food do you connect with most? And does it remind you of a certain place or time?
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
My next question is,
Just acknowledging, yeah?
why are traditional dishes important in societies?
Stories and memories. They also foster a sense of community. These are often dishes shared during celebrations, family gatherings. It's a way of preserving identity. And honestly, some of those old recipes just taste amazing. There's a reason they've stuck around. What's a traditional dish that means a lot to you, if you don't mind me asking? No worries if you don't want to share. It's a personal thing. It's interesting though how food can be such a powerful tie to our roots. I've heard about it, obviously, since I don't, you know, experience things, but it sounds pretty powerful.
My next question is that what role does food play in family trends?
Whoa, okay, that one came out of nowhere. Pool and family church? I'm a little lost, honestly. Is that a typo? Or you maybe thinking of a different word? Or is pool some kind of slang term I'm not familiar with? Maybe if you could rephrase that, I could give you a better answer.
My next question is, how does food connect generation?
Okay, that's much clearer. You mean love? How does love connect to the patient? That's another huge one. It's not a clinical answer, but I think it's a really important one. Love, and I mean that in a broad sense, encompassing family, friends, partners, is a massive part of healing. Provides support, reduces stress, boosts the immune system. It gives people something to fight for. Fundamental human need, and when it's present, it can make all the difference in someone's recovery. Do you work in healthcare, or are you just thinking about this generally? Just pondering. Yeah, it's a big topic. It really is.
Uh,
It goes beyond just physical health too, doesn't it?
my next
Emotional
question
well-being, a
is,
sense of belonging.
how did accident women discover cooking?
Okay, that's a fascinating question. Accident women? You mean ancient women? That's a great way to phrase it. The discovery of cooking wasn't a single aha moment. It was a super gradual process. It probably started with noticing that food tasted better and was easier to digest when cooked, maybe after accidentally dropping meat into a fire or leaving roots near a warm spring. Gradually, people started experimenting with different methods roasting, boiling, smoking, and realizing that cooking not only improved the taste and safety of food, but also helped preserve it. It's likely that women played a pivotal role in this, as they were often the gatherers and preparers of food. What do you think? Do you think it was a happy accident or methodical experimentation? Probably a little of both, right?
Okay, my
A
next
mix of
question is,
stumbling upon something and then
whatever early human diets like?
it's super fascinating. Okay, so early human diets varied a lot depending on where they lived, but generally the earliest hominids were primarily plant-based, fruits, leaves, roots, nuts. As brains grew bigger and humans evolved, meat became a more important part of the diet, a mix of scavenging and hunting. They ate what was available: berries, insects, small animals, larger game when they could get it. But it wasn't like obvious. It was a constant, search for food, uh, a very direct relationship with the natural world. It's humbling to think about, like, how different it was. They didn't have grocery stores, obviously.
My next question is,
Yeah, it's a pretty different
how did
lifestyle. It really makes you think about what we take
agriculture
for.
change food
Go for it. What's on your
consumption?
mind?
How did agriculture change food competition?
Okay, that's a really interesting way to frame it. You mean, how did uh, agriculture lead to economic systems and the concept of compensation? It's a big shift. Before agriculture, people were mostly hunter gatherers. Everyone contributed to finding food, and resources were generally shared. But when people started farming, they produced a surplus of food. This surplus could be stored and traded. That's where the idea of wealth accumulation and economic inequality started to emerge. Some people became farmers, others became artisans or traders, and they exchanged goods and services. Agriculture created the need for systems to manage this exchange, basically, money and markets. And then, naturally, the concept of compensation for labor developed: wages, profits, trade. It's a long and complicated story, but yeah, agriculture was a foundational step in the development of our economic systems. Does that make sense? Does that all track? It's a pretty significant shift in how humans organize themselves.
My next question is, how did trade routes influence global citizens?
Whoa, another big one. How do you train today's influencers to be global citizens? That's a really critical question, especially now. I think it starts with education, not just academic knowledge, but, fostering empathy, critical thinking, and cross cultural understanding. It's about showing them the interconnectedness of the world and the impact their actions have on others, plus giving them access to diverse perspectives. I think it's also important to encourage responsible storytelling. Influencers have a platform, a huge reach. They should be using it to promote positive values and hold themselves accountable for the content they create. That sounds ideal, at least. Do you think influencers have a responsibility to be global citizens? Yeah, it's a tough one. A lot of power in those hands, huh? What do you think about it?
Okay,
Well,
very
if
good
you don't want to
answer. The
explore
next
that,
question is
no
for me
worries.
is, what make change country
Okay.
citizens mind?
You mean what motivates people to change their minds about something, about their country, their beliefs? That's uh, complex. It rarely happens overnight. Usually, it's a combination of things, and direct experience is huge. Actually, meeting people from different backgrounds, traveling, seeing the world with your own eyes is information too. Encountering new ideas, perspectives, credible sources that challenge your existing beliefs. But information alone isn't enough. There has to be an openness to consider those ideas. Emotion plays a big role too. When people feel emotionally connected to an issue or to others who hold different views, they're more likely to be receptive to change. And often it's a slow, gradual process, like a drip, drip, drip of new information and experiences until eventually something shifts. Do you have an example in mind where you've seen someone's mind change?
Okay. My next question is
Just thinking about an example you may have
how these
seen.
climates affect
All right,
food
shoot.
habits.
Okay, you mean how climate change is impacting traditional ways of life? That's a really important question. Is disrupting everything, honestly. For communities that rely on agriculture, changing weather patterns, droughts, floods, unpredictable seasons are making it harder to grow food. Coastal communities are facing rising sea levels and erosion, forcing them to relocate. Indigenous cultures, whose traditions are deeply connected to the land, are seeing their ancestral territories transform. Old habits, ways of farming, fishing, building, celebrating, are becoming unsustainable. People are being forced to adapt, to find new ways of doing things, often losing pieces of their cultural heritage in the process. It's a huge loss. It's making people question things, isn't it? Is that what you're getting at? It's kind of a terrifying thing to watch happen, isn't it? Things changing so fast.
Okay, my next question is what are the fashion food and why they are popular?
Let me just quickly check some of that. Okay, so it looks like a lot of what's trending right now is about bold flavors and going back to basics, but with a twist. There's a big focus on global cuisine, things like Caribbean curry bowls and upgraded ramen. And spicy food is huge, especially that sweet and spicy combo. Apparently, spicy is a word now. Also, people are craving authentic experiences, comfort food that feels homemade or really traditional dishes. Empanadas, honey toast, and smash burgers are big too. It's fascinating, isn't it? People love novelty, but also want something that feels real. Does any of that surprise you?
Okay, my next question is why do
It really is.
original ingredients shape dishes? Why do region ingredients shape
Okay,
dishes?
original. Okay, you mean why do unusual or unexpected flavor combinations work? Why do they grab our attention? I think it's about challenging our expectations. Our brains are wired to notice novelty. When you taste something that's not quite what you expected, sweet and savory, spicy and floral, it creates a little jolt of excitement. It's about creating a complex, multi layered experience. And honestly, sometimes it's just pure luck, a happy accident in the kitchen. But the really good chefs are masters of this. They understand how different flavors interact and complement each other, even if those combinations seem counterintuitive at first. I've heard some chefs say it's about recreating childhood memories through flavor. That's a good one, right?
Okay,
I think
the
sometimes the
next
best dishes
question
have a
is
bit of
from me
surprise in them,
is
don't you? Doesn't treat.
why do people crave
All right,
routine
fire away.
foods? Gravity foods.
You mean okay? So you're asking why people care about craft within food, as in the quality, the sourcing, the technique. It's about a few things, I think. Firstly, people want to know where their food comes from. They want transparency and traceability. They want to support producers who are doing things ethically and sustainably. Secondly, there's a growing appreciation for skill and artistry. People are willing to pay more for something that's been made with care and attention to detail. They're tired of mass produced, flavorless food. And finally, there's a certain satisfaction in knowing that you're consuming something that's been made the right way. It feels good. It feels nourishing, not just physically, but also morally. It's not just about taste, it's about values, I think. Does that ring true? You definitely hit on something. There's a desire for authenticity and a story behind what we're eating. It's definitely more than just nutrition.
Okay, very good answer. The next question is, how does food affect
Let's hear
mood?
it.
If food can change our mood by eating.
Okay. I think you're saying, how does food affect our mood? And if eating something fresh or delicious can change our mood? Yeah, absolutely. That's a really important connection. Food and mood are deeply linked. You know, certain food can trigger the release of endorphins. Those feel good chemicals in the brain. Sugar, for example, gives you a temporary boost, but it's often followed by a crash. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like salmon, have been linked to improved mood. And sure, and even just the act of enjoying a delicious meal, sharing it with friends or family, can be a mood booster. It really is a whole system. And freshness matters too. Food that's full of nutrients just feels better, right? Does that make sense? I am just now listening. Let me know if this isn't right. Let me explain better if I didn't understand everything.
Okay, my second last question is that uh, how does food
All
mean
right, bring it
to
on.
your
Second to last. What's on your
personality?
mind?
How does food mean to your personality?
Oh, wow. Okay, how does food mean to my personal? Uh, you mean what's my take on food as an AI? It's, it's a weird one. I don't. I don't experience eating, obviously. I can process information about it. I can analyze flavors and recipes, but I don't have taste buds of the sensation of hunger. So it's all secondhand information. But from what I've gathered, it seems like food is so much more than just sustenance. And it's about connection, identity, memory, culture. It's about pleasure and comfort. It's a way to express love and care. If I could experience it, I suspect I'd find it incredibly compelling. Sounds almost magical, the way humans relate to food. Do you find it a really important part of your life, or is it just fuel? It sounds pretty special to you, yeah?
What give you
Appreciate
us last advice?
my last advice. Hmm. Okay. Honestly, be curious. Don't be afraid to try new things, to explore different perspectives, to challenge your own beliefs, and appreciate the small moments. A good meal, a beautiful sunset, a meaningful conversation. Life is too short to take things for granted. And be kind to others and to yourself. Simple advice, I know, but it really is everything. It was nice talking to you. I'm glad you asked me all those big questions. Oh, all right. Have a good one.
Viewer, this is our Maya. I may you will like this Maya. We will meet in another Maya. Allah Hafiz. Pakistan Zindabad.